Let's see. Is this thing on? What's going on, everybody? Cryptix here. And I know, I gotta get the elephant out of the room, right? Basically, I haven't uploaded in the past, few months, maybe 5 months, because, well, life gets in the way. But I'm looking, again, I've said this a million times, to be a little bit more consistent here on the channel. And I'm basically doing a follow-up on a video that I made probably like 6-7 months ago, saying gaming is boring in the year of 2021. And I think there's a lot of things to argue for that. I mean, at the end of the day, we really don't have a lot of variety in gaming as of right now, in terms of just previous franchises, not really giving us any innovation or any type of originality. They're trying to create new games with a bunch of microtransactions in them. You can look at the sports games too. They are losing their flair. I mean, they've been losing their flair for the past half a decade at minimum. Just basically updating rosters and spitting out the same copy and paste product. But there is a lot to look forward to, and I'm not trying to hype up any of these games. I'm not affiliated with, a specific console or any of the games that I'm about to mention, but there really is a lot to look forward to in gaming for the next couple of years. And some of the games that I'm going to be mentioning come out in the next 2 months, man. So I'm really just going to title this video, Gaming is Back, and it will be back for at least the next 2 to 3 years, with a lot of different hard-hitting titles, either returning in remakes or just being completely original games that I am honestly personally really excited to play. So again, guys, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. So the first game, and I'm going to try to go in chronological order here. It doesn't mean for some of these later titles that they're definitively coming out one after the other, because some of the dates haven't been released yet, but some of these, of course, have been released in terms of their release dates and will be coming out in the next couple of months. So the first game that we're going to be talking about is Battlefield 2042. Now, the beta came out not too long ago. People played it for, I believe, a full weekend. They were able to get a taste of the game. Yes, there are some glitches, but apparently the devs said that this is an older build anyway. They were just looking for any type of feedback that maybe they haven't fixed in their latest model of the game. But overall, this was a pretty solid beta experience for me personally. I was able to play on both consoles, both PC and my PlayStation 5, and I really did find myself enjoying PC more just because of the hardware that I have, but console still had some pretty solid experiences for me. The frame drops weren't that bad. I think I experienced like 2 lag outs and like a few significant frame drops on console, but again, it's an older build. Overall, we haven't gotten a modern Battlefield experience, now think about this for a second, since 2015, and that was Battlefield Hardline. One of the primary titles that we've gotten for Battlefield that a lot of people still play to this day is Battlefield 4, and that came out in 2013. So it's been about 8 significant long years since we've gotten a major Battlefield title showcasing modern weapons, and in this case even futuristic ones with drones and things like that coming to 2042. So I'm personally excited to play this. There's a lot of different features. The graphics look phenomenal. I'll probably play this on PC. But yeah, man, I really want to know your comments about this game and some of the other ones that I'm about to mention. Now, the next game is Halo Infinite. Now, I'm just going to keep it a $150 with you guys. I only own, in terms of next-gen consoles and hardware, a PlayStation 5. But the perk here for anyone owning a, Microsoft-based computer or PC is that you're able to play this game on PC. And if you have some nice hardware in your PC, it might even be a better experience than the Xbox Series X. Now, Halo Infinite is obviously going to be an exclusive title to Microsoft products, that being PCs with Microsoft Office enabled, or the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X. But again, this is a major title. A lot of people are going to be playing this game, and at the end of it all, it's looking like a similarity in terms of gameplay structure to Halo Reach, or even potentially Halo 3. I think Reach is just one of those games that you can relate this one to because there's abilities, things like that The combat looks pretty similar, and it's going to be the next iteration in the Halo franchise. But something that I think is going to make this game really just popular overall is the fact that the multiplayer experience, by the time that I'm uploading this video, is going to be free to play. If you want to play the full entirety of the game in terms of the campaign, then you actually purchase the game. But Halo Infinite multiplayer is going to be free to play. And I feel like this business model in gaming needs to take effect for pretty much all games that want to make it in the next few years. They need to make the multiplayer portion of whatever game they're trying to sell free to play so everyone can get a taste of it. If people are willing to spend the additional dollars to play the campaign, then they have the freedom to do so, but they have, free reign to play the multiplayer portion. And I think that's a really great business model for Halo and just, the game Halo Infinite, right? Now, the next few titles that I'm about to mention don't have a clear, definitive release date, but these are the ones that either bring back nostalgia from my childhood or just I'm simply hyped to play because I own a PlayStation 5, okay? Some of these, actually all of these games I believe are PlayStation 5 exclusives, but again, don't worry, right? Because Xbox, they have a lot of different games, and Halo Infinite is going to be that major player, I think, in the near future. But the next title is Spider-Man 2. Now, a lot of people that play the Spider-Man game on the PlayStation 4 or even the remastered version on the PlayStation 5, this was easily, hands down, the best Spider-Man game we have ever gotten. Now, that's not to say that the other Spider-Man games in the past weren't solid, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Web of Shadows was probably one of the best games I think I've personally played in my childhood in terms of superhero games. You also got the classic Spider-Man movie games and things like that, but Spider-Man PlayStation 4 or Spider-Man PlayStation 5, whatever you want to call it, it was just the most immersive Spider-Man experience. The graphics are great, yada, 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 right? Now, I'm not going to spoil too much, but most of you guys have probably seen the trailer. Venom is going to be in Spider-Man 2, and it looks like, and there's a lot of rumors going around, but it looks like so you're going to be able to play as Spider-Man and Miles Morales in Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. This is going to be an insane game because not only is Venom going to be in it, but if you look at the trailer, they also tease that Spider-Man is going to have a black suit. And that's pretty, I guess, indicative of Venom being in the game. Usually when Venom's in a game, you have to have the black Spider-Man suit before you can get Venom, right? I don't know how they're going to spin it here, but that's how the comics have played. That's how basically the movies have gone in the comics. But this looks like one of the best games of the decade, easily. And I'm not even trying to hype that up based on, Insomniac and the way they've developed Spider-Man PlayStation 4. It's just looking like a really, really, really solid setup for, the Spider-Man gaming franchise, right? Now, moving on to the next two titles, and I forgot to mention, Spider-Man 2, it's supposedly releasing in 2023, but don't quote me on that because we really don't know for sure. They could delay it. A lot of games have been getting delayed over the past, couple years, but we have to wait and see. Now, this next game, I'm not going to lie to you, was the trailer just made me realize, wow, I have the console that this is going to be on. And that's not to knock anybody that didn't get it, or, I'm not trying to, hype myself up, but the fact that this game is coming out for the PlayStation 5, at least for, the exclusive portion, I don't know if they're going to ever create it for Xbox, but this was the childhood bombshell for me. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake. And we don't really know anything about it other than it's not going to be a pound-for-pound remastered version of the game that we played in our childhood, right? You got Darth Revan, you got, his crew, you got the plot twist I'm sure will be in there and things like that, but the trailer shows a cinematic, so I don't know if it's going to be as clear-cut and as graphically high-end as, maybe what the trailer's setting it out to be. But if it's even remotely, graphically improved, if there are maybe different fighting mechanics to actually make us, have not a hack and slash, but more of a control over our player instead of simulation combat, that's going to be crazy. And I would love, and this would be too far-fetched, but my jaw would drop to the floor if this was multiplayer based too. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake gets a multiplayer portion. I would lose my mind. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's looking like it's going to come out probably in, I want to say 2023 or maybe even 2024. Again, games can get delayed. That's the speculation about it, but we have to wait and see. Now, this final game is honestly just, again, bringing me back to my childhood. If you guys don't know, like, Web of Shadows had this character as well. There were a lot of games revolving around this character. It is Marvel's Wolverine for the PlayStation 5. Again, I know, like, a lot of Xbox users are a little salty. I get it, but you still have, like, Halo. You got some other hard hitters, Fable, things like that. But without getting too off topic, Marvel will have a Wolverine game coming out, and we don't know for sure the release date. We really have no idea about, like, the past 3 games in terms of official release dates, but I would like to assume that this Wolverine game's probably coming out after Spider-Man 2. Like, the Sony PlayStation 5 is going to make sure that Spider-Man is on the top priority list because it was one of the major selling points to getting a PlayStation. Sony has Spider-Man as the IP, so they're going to try to get that out as soon as they can. That's going to be the highest priority. And then whatever Marvel game comes out afterwards is going to be, second, third, whatever. But Wolverine is most likely coming out after Spider-Man, PlayStation 5. And since PlayStation 5, not PlayStation 5, Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5 is coming out around 2023, 2024, we can assume that Wolverine is going to come out in the next few years. I don't want to, say it's going to come out right after Spider-Man 2. It might come out like a few months, 6 months, 8 months, maybe even a year after, but it's still going to be a game for the PlayStation 5. These games that are coming out, dude, like, I am unbelievably hyped between a mixture of originality, some of my childhood experiences playing some of these characters in game. It's just going to be a wild next few years for gaming, personally, for me, and for a lot of PlayStation users and Xbox users. If you have a PC, obviously some of these games will be available on PC, particularly Battlefield and Halo Infinite. But yeah, man, I'm just really unbelievably excited for some of the games coming out. It's just going to be like one of those types of things where, we have a dry spell in gaming. We've had it in the past. That's how I kind of feel like right now in 2021. There's not that many games to play that I'm actually interested in or that my friends even play. But again, the next 4 years of gaming is going to be a wild ride. I'm really excited. I can't even lie to you guys. So hope you all did enjoy this video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, comment down below what you think about all the games that I mentioned, man. I'm really, really excited to see what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Cryptix, just, obviously really excited for some of these games coming out, and I'm signing off.